Hello, welcome back to my video. This is a video on how to make single and double increases in brioche stitch. So we're going to make our first one in this stitch right here. This is a brioche knit right here. So you put your right needle in here as if to knit. You make a knit stitch and pull it through, but you do not remove this stitch from the left needle. Instead, you reach back and make a yarn over. Then you make another knit and you take it off the left needle. So now we have 3 stitches in place of 1. It's actually only a single increase because you need to create the back stitch along with the forward stitch. Let's back up here and look at this. You can see in brioche that you have your forward stitch, which is the brioche knit, then you have the single stitch, which is your back, the opposite side. In this case it's light, and that's the purl. And then you have another brioche knit in your dark. So whenever you create an increase in brioche, you have to create an increase on the forward side and on the back side at the same time. So if you want to increase 1 stitch, you have to actually, in brioche, you have to actually make 2 increases, one for the forward side and one for the back side. So we take the needle through the knit column, this is a knit column, with the same color, make a knit, don't take the needle off the left needle, don't take the stitch off the left needle, pick up the yarn over, and make another knit. So you'd have 3 stitches. You have the one that you're just worked through, it replaces the column that's coming up, and then the 2 new, one for the back and one for the front. Now what if you want to make a double increase? It's very similar. We're going to make a double increase in this column. So we go through as if to knit, make the knit stitch, pull it through, grab the yarn over, make another knit stitch. So now we've got 3, but we want 5, right? 4, 5. So we have the one that replaced the stitch we're knitting into, and then a back, forward, back, forward. So we've made a 2-stitch increase. So let's do the light row on top of this. I'll be back in just a second after I finish to the end here. Okay, here we are ready to do the right side. So we've got our first increase here. This is the knit that's coming up from this column right here. This is the new back stitch and the new forward stitch. So when we know that we're working with the light yarn, that this is going to be, we're going to do the slip 1 yarn over here, and then we're going to do a purl stitch here. Now it doesn't have its yarn over because it didn't get one when we made the increase. It's impossible to do that. So we just pretend like it does, and we're going to purl that stitch because it's from the back side. And then we're going to do a knit 1 yarn over, a slip 1 yarn over. And now we have our correct sequence again. We've got our slip 1 yarn over, our purl, our slip 1 yarn over. Let's work to the next one. That's our purl. Here we are, we have our double increase. We have 5 stitches here. So the first one is a slip 1 yarn over because we're working with the light. Then we do a purl. And you can actually see that it's going to be a purl. See how it has a purl bump at the bottom? That's the yarn over we made. So we purl. This was the knit, so it looks like a knit, so we're slip 1 yarn over. There's a yarn over, a purl, so we're going to purl that. And a slip 1 yarn over. Okay, so I worked a couple rows just so you can see what these increases are going to look like. Here's our single increase here. So our original column's coming up here, and then we have 2 columns coming out of it with that reverse side color in between. So that's where we had the original stitch here, then we made 2 new stitches because we had to make the other side column there and then here's the increase right here. For the double increase, we took one column of stitches here and we made 3. Here's the original column here, and then 2 new columns. So we have our light side stitches here. That's why we had to make 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But it results in just 3 columns on the first side, on the front side, which is our dark side in this case, and 2 increases, our original and 2 increases. Let's see what they look like on the other side. So here is the single increase here. You can see it just started a new column right there. Here's our double increase. So that's going to look like that. And they don't look the same. They are not reversible, but they are not unattractive either. Here are the decreases that we made on the light side in a previous video. And here are the decreases that we made on the dark side in a previous video. Those are both in another video that'll be linked here. I also have just a basic brioche stitch video. You can find more about me on my Facebook page, Knitting with Suzanne Bryan, or my Ravelry group, Knitting with Suzanne Bryan. We're doing a knit along on color work, all different types of color work in that group. You're welcome to join us. Check out those groups. Be sure to share my videos on social media and like it and make a comment. I love to hear from you. Take care and happy knitting.